Libra, how you doing? Welcome to your energy tarot reading here on the Astroflower, going from the 4th to the 10th of November. Hope you're doing well. Have you seen the energy update? Because we're going to be going into the elements and how they're affecting your flower and your petals later on. But we will be stopping by that after we've got some messages from the Astroflower and pulled a tarot reading for you. So without further ado, let's just get straight on into that. Let's see what's going on in the overall energies here. There's a big force going on the relationship side within you. It's like a tsunami is not like a massive high cresting wave. That's not what really a tsunami is. It's more sort of wide than it is high sort of scenario. And it's like there's this big wave of energy that's coming from out a real determination from within you in regards to the relationship side. There is a part, though, that I will say that is playing outwardly in the world around you, pushing the boundaries a little bit, but there's a real sub-determination within you to sort of kind of going, I want to put a bit of order in my relationships. And this could be family, friends, personal, whatever it is. It's a real sort of determination there, I think, this week. On your financial side, a similar sort of thing. I think this is like you're taking life by the scruff of the neck, by the looks of things. Similar sort of thing going on the financial side. Much more fine, I think. This is where you may be using your intuition, your language skills, the way in which you use words and so forth, and creating creating ideas and stuff like that. It's a lot more of that, and it seems to be a lot more precise. You're getting out your swords here on this sort of section, I think, more than anything else from within you. So let's just see what the tarot says about this. Yeah, look at that. You get the Three of Pentacles, good quality work. I think a lot of the air signs have been getting this, are connecting with people that are around you. And I think it's like within you sort of saying, if I want good quality in my life, I have to put out the good quality work. And I think this is like you've got the bit between your teeth on your relationship side and on your financial side to sort of say, I want to put out some good quality stuff in the world. And that's what's the driving, is a good driving motivation. And I think you will get recognition on both sides, on your relationship side as much as in your financial side, because of that determination of taking control of the situation and taking life by the scruff of the neck, basically. Let's just see what's going on the relationship side. Karmic path plays out into, I think it's like, you've got to be out there in order to get it. So it's your karmic path is sort of saying you've got to get out into life in order to get it. And there is this sort of like, we'll sort of go, let's go get it sort of determination about the karmic path. It's almost forcing you into that role of engaging with the world around you. And I know the world's frightening. If you look at it in the world, sometimes you look out the window and you just kind of go, no way, do you know what, forget it, don't worry about it, I'm quite happy here. But no, that's not a good idea. Let's just see what's going on in that connection to the universe and to the coincidences and the super subconscious. There is good quality connections that you're making, and it's within your karmic path to do that. Really settle into a community, really settle into engagement with people that are around you. And this could be family as well, as much as friends and stuff like that, and it could be just your neighborhood as well. It's getting out there and taking a position in it. Let's just see what's going on in the past. Well, the past seems like a block. It's almost as if like you kind of going, I'm not going to look at the past. I'm not going to look at it. No, because I'm heading down there. I'm going to the future. And that's where you are taking the scruff, life by the scruff of the neck. So I'll look at it another day. Put it to one side and look at it another day. In your future self, it's certainly very rosy, your future. I think it's very fragrant. I think you're going to get a lot of satisfaction or stimulation from life because of this attitude, because of this engagement that you can do this week. Once you do start getting that, I think that's where, once you getting out there and getting involved, I think is really important. And once you do, I think you're going to start realizing, kind of go, wow, actually, do you know what? I never tried this before, and I'm really like doing it. It could be something like, doing an activity like sort of like, I don't know, windsurfing or playing tennis or whatever, you know what I mean? Getting out there and doing an activity and kind of going, do you know what? I didn't know I'd really enjoy that, but I really do enjoy it. And engaging with that. And I think it breeds a lot of fragrance within your life. What's the lessons out of this week here? You have control. I don't know if you've ever learned to fly a plane, but when you're learning with an instructor and then you're supposed to take hold of you're supposed to drive the plane, you have got to say, you have control. And sort of like the co-pilot will sort of say, or the instructor will sort of say to you, have you taken, like, you have control of the plane. And then they'll say, I no longer have control. You have control. And it's a little bit like that. The lessons that you've got to learn this week here is like, you have a lot more control out of this than you realise. Ace of Swords. Look at that on your karmic path. There is a real determination on your karmic path here to bring in some beautiful, clear visions of how to live life, taking life by the scruff of the neck and getting some really good victories out of it all. I think it bodes incredibly well for you, Libra. Really does. Very beautiful. Beautiful engagements with the world that is around you. Going on a mission. That's what's on the universe there. That's going on a mission. That's what that's all about. You know what I mean? How good's that? It's, once you get out there and get involved, I think you're just going to kind of go, wow, why was I not doing this for ages? Why was I not doing this before? Sort of scenario. Oh, look, there's 2 cards here. Yeah, you don't want to look at that. That's not what you don't want to look at. Love can be daunting. It really can, and it can be so confusing at times. And I think, in a way, you might have been in a love sort of situation that defied a little bit of your logic, and it was highly emotionally driven, which can be difficult for you sometimes because you live in such a logical constructions of the world. That's because you're cardinal pure air, and we're going to be going into those elements and seeing how those elements are playing with you at the moment. Major sort of situations on that. We'll see that in a minute, and we'll pull some cards on the energies that are coming in for you. But it's like you're ignoring that happiness. But anyway, it's possibly that this is, you need to prove something within you, I think, obviously this week here. And in order to prove something within you, you're kind of sort of saying, I don't need to listen to my heart at the moment. It'd be far too dangerous. I just want to enjoy life, which is listening to your heart, I guess. In the future, you get a lot of messages. You get a lot of great focal point in your life. Very fragrant, as I said. There's lots of things that are going on here that are coming all together because you're taking life by the scruff of the neck. And taking life by the scruff of the neck and going off on a mission is going to be really good for you, I think. Really good for you. And how do you do it? You nurture it. You nurture this is in you getting involved here. You have a lot more control than you think over the situation, and I think you're realizing this week here. You're realizing a lot of things about relationships and emotions and love and couples and family and friends. You're learning an enormous amount here, which is making life a lot more sort of logical, a lot more comprehensible to you. Okay, let's have a look what's going on your financial side. This is where we had the much more sort of cutting sword, as it were, being very much more sort of precise. What's on your karmic path here? That's a karmic path here that says now is the time to install something that you've been playing with for some time. Now is the time, and there's no other way around it. So it's something that you've been, a project or an idea or a business that you've been playing with for some time, and you've been playing with it. Now is the time to really invigorate it. One way or another, you've got to really invigorate it. And I think this ties into you learning a lot about yourself on this sort of side. On your connection to the universe, the sort of networking, intuition, super subconscious, as it were, coincidences and stuff like that. I think you've got to do it. I think sometimes we kind of go, okay, I want to get this, and therefore I need money, therefore I need investors and stuff like that. Do you really? Do you really need it? Or is it just you need to invest your time? And I think this is an understanding, because it sort of curves back in like a wave coming into you, as if to sort of say, I'm going to go out there and get it. I'm going to go, no, actually, I tell you what, I'm just going to create it. That's the sort of attitude that I think I think it's like you don't want to be dependent upon anybody else for anything. That's what it feels like. On your past self, it's like, you're sitting on a beach and you're watching those waves that are breaking in, that lovely, beautiful, sunny beach and what have you, and you see people playing in the waves, and you've realised that you've been watching other people do a lot of things for a long time. And how about you doing it? That's the sort of attitude that I think, that's the message that comes up from the past there. In your future self, I would almost like the Knight of Swords to be up here, but it's already out. But it feels like that. It feels like you're going on like a crusade in life to prove something to yourself more than anything else. What's the lessons that come out of this week here? Time may not be your friend. Okay, so it's like an idea that you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to procrastinate. You don't want to waste your time on making decisions either. I think you just need to make a plan clear for you and attack it. And this is where wasting time will not be favourable to you. I think you've got to be consistent. Don't try and go too fast either. Long distance. Getting up a real rhythm going on in how you do this. Maybe setting up a program for the day, sort of saying, okay, between 9 and 11 I'm going to do this. Between 2 and 4 I'm going to be doing this, and between 5 and 6 I'm going to be doing this. Leave spaces, because you'll get once you start doing things, you know what it's like. You phone someone, they'll sort of say, oh yeah, we'd love to do that, but have you got this? And you'll kind of say, oh, I need to check that, and then you'll have to go and check it. So there may be you need to have a little bit of slack either side of it all. But having some sort of planning will be really, really good for you. Okay? Curious. Allow your curiosity to go wild. I think the karmic path here is sort of saying that we've been playing with this idea for a long time. Let's stop playing. I'm curious about seeing whether I can really put it to the test. And I think this is on your karmic path, is encouraging you to do that. On the connections to the universe and the people around you, they cause you stress. Don't get involved with them. This is where, if you rely on others for your success, I think you'll find it very stressful, because you'll feel burdened to others, binded to others. But that doesn't mean you can't work with people. What it means is that you've got to put in your side. That's all you've got to do in whatever you're doing. So if you're in a career, if you're in working with other people, it's not a case of just kind of going, I'm not going to talk to any of my work colleagues. It's just a case of sort of saying, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to concentrate on doing what I can do. I'm not going to worry about what you're doing. And I think this is where you need to just sort of like take away those stress and strains of the outside world. And I think that's why you're relying upon yourself. Self-reliance is seems to be quite an important thing here. On your past to your future, you get the 9 of Cups. Yes, as I said, you were sitting there watching the waves. I was actually going to say this is a bit more fantastical, but I was going to sort of say it's like you're sitting there looking at the stars, and eventually you're going to have to get in that spaceship and go and visit the stars. That sort of thing. You know what I mean? But I took the wave analogy just because it was a lot more easier and a lot more possible. But this is it. I think you've been toying over a lot of ideas. There's a lot of possibility within you, huge amounts of possibilities within your life at the moment for you, and in your success, in your future. This is that determination, going off on a mission, really going after what you want, getting rid of all those doubts, working to a plan, being strong and true to yourself. And I think this is where you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, and I think you will get the results. I think you will get a lot of security out of that as well, which will open up a huge amounts of different things for you. And out the top there, you get the Hierophant, my most favourite card on the pack. You know the steps you need to take in order to get there. Time is not your friend. Just go up those steps. It's straightforward. It's really straightforward stuff. And this is where it's going to affect your relationship side on the 8 of Wands there. It's going to help you to really nurture something that is amazing for you as you go forward. Okay? So let's just see how the energies are affecting your sign. So let's just pull up the sun. Here we go there. Okay, and this is the sun that's been happening over the last week. There was a few X-flares last weekend and the beginning of last week. None of them were in the direction of the Earth. The main things that were erupting in the direction of the Earth were primarily filament energies. We had quite a few of them. Small ones, not very big at all. Didn't do that much of an interference, to be honest. We did have an X-flare that came off in the centre of the sun here. It was directed towards the Earth, but it didn't have a lot of plasma attached to it, and I don't think there was a lot of effect. It should be coming through today, so we'll have to keep an eye on things, obviously, but I don't think there's a lot of things attached to it. And everything seems to be going either side of the sun at the moment, and that friction created a lot of air energy. But there was a lot of filament energy eruption, as I said, and there was one major one that went out in front of the Earth, and it was like this emotionally driven air energy. So it's giving us an emotional drive to a future plan, and that's what, because it played in front of the Earth, and I think that's what's been driving the energies at the moment. So the main two energies that we've been having have been really air and water energy. Okay, let's just see how that plays out in your flower. Now, as I said, you are pure air. There's only 4 signs that are pure. There is Virgo, Libra, Pisces and Aries. Okay, and you're that cardinal air sign, so you're always working on the future, working on a plan, working on the logic, really good at communication, being in the here and now, rather than being in the here and now. But sometimes it can be difficult to maintain that over a long period of time. That's where you've got to rely on your earth energy. Now, if you look at your earth energy, you get a lot of earth energy coming in from obviously another pure sign, which is Virgo next to you. So it's a bit mutable. So you're playing with the material world according to the logic that is around you as well. You do have that earth coming in at your base here on your financial side. So you have it on these 3 petals, air and earth. So you're relying upon that of what you want to create, and you're using your air energy, your logic, and your that sort of intuition, and the words, the way in which you present things, to invigorate that, to create that scenario, that earth scenario that you so desire, and you get that beautiful connection between the earth and the water at the top. but you don't have a lot of connection between water and air, which is probably just as well, because water and air, they don't really mix because they're incredibly similar. You know, water is H2O, and you know, oxygen and hydrogen are a major part of air. So you know, it's very, very similar without being the same at all. But you do have this air, this water coming in from Scorpio, which is affecting your sort of here and now, or your future, sorry, and the lessons you're learning out of the here and now. Okay, the other one which I'd like to look at is this section here. The cardinal air that comes in obviously from you, and the cardinal water that comes in from Capricorn, who is more water in Capricorn than there is sort of air. So let's just put a few cards on that and see how that sort of plays in. So what we're looking at is the messages, the emotional driven messages, like what that filament eruption that I was talking about earlier on, but it comes in the way of fixed emotions. So this is like a logical conclusion that you're wanting to a situation, which then, because it can then allow you to nurture the good times for you. So with this fixed water, what comes in with that? A Knight of Cups. Could this be something connected to your past with that sort of Sun and that Lovers card? I think the world, or the energy, is offering. If you make this sort of stance and take the world by the scruff of the neck, I think the world is offering you a great opportunity to fall in love with life again. Totally fall in love with life without any sort of restrictions or inhibitions. And it makes you, because you are you. This is a very much a Libra card, Justice. And it gives you reason, a lot of reason in life, in regards to your relationships within your family, your friends, your community. It's really driving that aspect of you more than anything else. Really, really beautiful. Let's just see how that water then plays into this curious side here, because you get that water coming in from Scorpio, as I said, but it does, because water, Scorpio is water and air. So I would like to see this transitional point between you. You get the Four of Pentacles here. I wouldn't skimp and save. I would be very precise how you put your energy into life. And I think the Four of Pentacles here is asking you to be precise about how you engage in the world around you. But when you do engage with your swords and really use your logic to get the best results out of these projects that you've been playing with, and it's now time to install it. And I think that Four of Pentacles is almost sort of saying, you know, there's no other way around this. This is the way to go. Let's just see what is this mission here. Could it be a new love? Could it be a connection with a member of family or friends that you didn't see really happening, and it's taking you off on a whole new connection in the world around you? Five of Cups. So it could be a case here of moving away from disappointing times in the past with the Five of Cups and getting into alignment with yourself, because there's 3 cups that have been spilt and there's 2 cups that are absolutely bringing you the good stuff. Okay? So I think that's where you're going from. And where you're going to, you get the Seven of Wands. This gives you that healthy determination that is within you. It's not that you have to fight for the pathway, you just need to recognize it, that there's no other path to be living apart from the path that you should be living. And I think this is where you need to take that one there and take that passion within you to really go after your happiness and start installing it in you. And that's when you do good quality work for yourself. That's when you can get some good quality connections with everybody that is around you. And I think it bodes incredibly well. But it certainly seems to be playing a little bit more on your relationship side than on your financial side. But it doesn't mean, Ultan, that you're not going to get as much joy out of your financial side. I think you're going to get some great joy out of that, but you need to be a little bit more laser focused more than anything else. So there you go, Libra. Thanking you very much for being here. I hope you get the best out of these readings. Really do. Thank you very much for all the support you give to this channel. I'll see you on the energy updates or on here, whichever way it is. Lovely to see you again. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.